next section is really the who in the marketing plan. That's who we're going after. What is our target market? And we know that we have to have a target market because not everyone will buy our product and service. And I often show, the difference between having a target and hitting it versus not having a target and hitting it, randomly. You can get lucky. Luck is good. We might need a little luck sometimes, but you want to avoid getting lucky. You want to be strategic. So to do that, you need to create your total target market section first, and then break down your segmentation. And that's where the segmentation tree comes in, and that's how you put the segmentation in. So let's say you have a product that all women in the United States would buy. Okay, let's start there, all women in the United States. But then you realize that not all women in the United States are going to buy it. So you refine it down to, let's say, middle-aged women, women between the ages of 30 and 55. So that's really your whole target in the United States. But you also realize because your product's a higher quality, higher price product, it's women ages 30 to 55 that make an average income, a household income of over $100,000 because it's a higher priced item. You might also want to add on to that, it's women that use, maybe it's a skin cream, that use skin cream and buy brand name type products. So that helps you break down your segmentation. Now you can also break down your segmentation more closely by specific age groups, by geographies, by ethnicities, by psychographics, right? We're looking at psychographics today. So there's a lot of ways to segment your group out, but you need to have that segmented out. And I would suggest probably not segmenting longer than 3 or 4 rows deep, because you don't want to create so many different segments that you can't market to. Because remember, every segment you create could be a different messaging. I'll give you an example. If we're selling a skin cream product to women, and we're between the ages of 30 and 55, well, you know what? The 50 plus group might have a different appreciation of a higher priced skincare product, might have different problems to solve, right? At their ages than the 30-year-old. The 30-year-old probably has young kids, is probably frantic and hectic and just wants to look her best when she's at her worst, right? So that would be the solution for her. But now the 55-year-old might be tired and might be overworked, might be aging, might feel like they're aged. So they want a product that's going to make them feel young again or make them feel healthy. So they're looking at the same product to answer 2 different problems, to solve 2 different needs. So that's why you want to segment that out. But I always suggest not creating more than 4, because that messaging could get really complex. And if we think about this in the social media context, and we just do messaging for YouTube, we just do messaging for Instagram, and we do messaging for LinkedIn. Well, each one of those platforms require a different type of message, right? So you got 3 different messages that you have to create in terms of content. And then content-wise, there's 3 different types of content. There's video, there's audio, and there's the images, right? The written word. So if you just do it one time, 3 different types of content, that's 9 pieces of content you have to make. Now, if you have 4 segment groups, that's 9 times 4 pieces of content you have to make. And then how many times a week do you send out the content? Now you got to multiply that by 3 times a week, and then 4 times a month, and then 12 times 52 times a year. So it starts adding up, and that becomes a full-time job for 1 or 2 people. So you have to make sure that segmentation makes sense. Don't just segment it just for the sake of trying to get a smaller segmentation. They have to be an active user in your environment, and you don't want to spend money on a segment that doesn't make sense. So that's where that's important. So yes, you can segment it down 100 times, but you try to limit that so you can control the messaging and get the most return on investment when you spend money on marketing for them.